Hey everyone, my name is Anna. I'm a wife of an addict in recovery, and I'm also recovering myself from codependency.
Hey guys, I'm Mitchell. I'm a grateful recovering addict alcoholic, and I am grateful to be here. I'm very tired though. So I was out in the sun and I'm very tired, so I just let Anna know, and she was like, oh, I'm triggered.
I honestly was.
So, yeah, just let anybody know that I'll probably be yawning.
Okay. So guys, tonight we are going to talk more about why we feel that there could have been the potential of a relapse, which people that know us, there was a lapse. What about, how long ago? A month ago?
I don't know, a month and a half.
Yeah, about a month and a half ago. We wanted to talk a little bit more on that. I know I've been doing more reflecting and just seeing, where were there signs. And to be completely honest with you, this is not going to be a thing about Mitchell's signs. I want to discuss things that I noticed that I feel from the both of us, and also at times just me. And so I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention, because I feel if someone, even one person, can learn from my mistakes, our mistakes, then it's worth it by sharing what we feel may have occurred and happened. And then we'll also talk a little bit more about what a mental relapse looks like. Mitchell will go into that for him. And I'll go in for it myself, because I am a firm believer. One of the things that we have found, and we teach, and they teach this at I Am Recovery and Counseling in a lot of different places, that before a physical relapse occurs, it's called a mental relapse. And those are certain emotions or behaviors that we may display, and things will stop. And they happen before a physical relapse occurs. And if we understand what the warning signs are, we can actually stop a physical relapse from ever happening. And if someone does relapse, we want to understand what the mental relapse was before the physical, because that can help someone grow leaps and bounds in early recovery, or even if they've had long-term recovery, it can really help us grow. So I want to go into that and discuss that. But we are going to talk more about right now what I feel some signs were. And Mitchell doesn't know all of them, so we're going to talk about them here live. And Mitchell loves being put on the spot. So
Yeah, I don't care.
yeah, right. So
What? I don't care.
okay, well, that's good.
Oh.
You usually don't like being put on the spot. That's usually when aggravation comes. So
Oh, no, we are, though.
yeah, well, that's good to know. Okay, so I can put you on the spot on We Are.
Yeah, I've never been...
Okay.
Never been uncomfortable on the spot on We Are? I don't think so.
I think at times, and I have been too. I was telling someone that one time when you came out with the trigger and you had the cash, and I didn't know anything about it, and you were like, just go on We Are. I was like, what is happening?
I don't think I've ever...
Okay. So what it is, guys, for me, I've been doing more thinking, and I actually feel that I get caught up in looking for signs of addiction rather than looking at everyday life and some things that we may have stopped doing or disconnected from. And I was just talking to someone today, and this was the first realization about it. I feel that I slowly disconnected 3 years ago. 3 years ago is when Maria Reese was born. And I'm going to tell you why I feel this way. Mitchell's already brought this to the attention, actually, even before the relapse happened. Mitchell came to me and was like, Anna, I just feel like sometimes we're not Anna and Mitchell anymore. We're just Maria Reese's parents. Okay? So for me, if I start thinking, when did my own personal, if you want to call it relapse, happen? When did I start doing the things that helped me in recovery and my codependency? It was 3 years ago. How I know this is before Maria Reese came into the picture, I feel like I was always reaching out to my support system. I was still going on my Thursday meetings that were originally my Saturdays. That was our family support group. I mean, I was actually on a Thursday night support group when I was in labor.
In the hospital.
Yeah, in the hospital with Maria Reese. After having Maria Reese, I realized that I slowly stopped going to the meetings. When I slowly stopped going to the meetings, I slowly stopped reaching out to other people. And I think what happened is I slowly slipped back into a codependent relationship, meaning as when I started having my hards, I no longer reached out to my independent source. I went to Mitchell. And now that's not to say that we're not supposed to talk to one another or communicate, but I think I completely lost my support system. I didn't talk to them before I went to Mitchell. And then the other part was I didn't talk to them after I spoke to Mitchell.
Quit utilizing it.
Yes.
Lost it. Yeah.
Yes. And that was my big thing. And I was wondering if you would be in agreement with that. I think we both really did stop utilizing our individual support systems. And I feel like we started relying more on one another.
I mean, 100%. I mean, I think that's marriage. I think that's having a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's natural. For sure we did. I mean, but I think that is life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have friends, and then you get a girlfriend, and then you don't hang out with your friends.
Yeah.
Right? You're more with your girlfriend. Then you get married. You know what I mean? And then you're like doing the single thing, and then you know what I mean? The you know, married couple, but like going out thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you have friends, and then you have kids, and it's like then you go to the parenting kind of mode.
Yeah.
And I think things just drop off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to keep the things that are working when your life's changing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we were in recovery. I think we were in, you know, it was just me and you.
Yeah.
Whenever I went to treatment the last time, and then you were able to come out and see me and stay out there for 2 months, and then, you know, make good connections out there, go on a 2-week road trip, like didn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
We didn't have anything to worry about except like regrowing ourselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, and then sure, it's one thing, you know, have Maria Reese, and then, you know, then you get to focus on Maria Reese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, newborn's not easy, you know what I mean?
No, and that is something, though, guys, that I wanted to bring up because, you know, Mitchell and I always talk about needing to have your support system, and I, for one, am going to take ownership that I dropped off the face of the earth with my support system. And I do think I relied more on Mitchell. And with that, we're stopping something that works for us, okay? We're creating, actually, I feel, more of a codependent relationship again, because in the past, Mitchell had his support system, I had mine, so if we had an issue, we would at least talk to our support system either before or after, so you're more separated. But I do feel like what happened over time, when we stopped utilizing our support system, we became more enmeshed like this, and we're just talking to one another. And like Mitchell said, you know, there's that change, and I want people just to be aware of that, because I'm a huge advocate for needing our support system. And I feel on my journey, when I stopped going to meetings and I stopped reaching out, for me, I feel like it became harder and harder to reach out. I slipped more into my codependent behaviors again. So I'm actually going to call, and I said this to my client today, is I would actually call what I did was a relapse. And the reason why is because if I would have stopped reaching out and got right back in it, I think it would have been easier to reach back out again. But what I started doing is I stopped reaching out altogether. So I extended that time. And the more time it went, I started taking my own will back and think that I could solve these problems. Think that I could take care of these codependent behaviors. I could work through it. And anytime the boiling pot became too much, that's when I wanted to reach out to my support system, but I would always find myself deleting my text or my messages, because now that codependent trait would come in that I'm a burden. How dare I reach out after all this time? Other people's problems are worse than my own. So now I'm falling into this cycle. I'm no longer reaching out. Now I'm falling more into shame and guilt. Okay? And I don't think that helps me psychologically or mentally. And so
I think that's the thing, though. I think if you fall into shame and guilt, then there's something you need to look at, right?
Yes.
But I think on the other end of the spectrum is if you compare yourself to when you're like freer and early recovery and you're working it to more tied down, not as much time to do these things and further along, it's always going to be different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think the key, what you just said is you started feeling some shame and guilt.
Yeah.
So you knew, your soul knew something was going on.
Yeah.
That you needed to do different. I think that's a good distinction because like we can still be in a really good recovery spot, and it might not look like the first couple years of our recovery.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And so for me, my thing really is, guys, I'm going to put this up. I don't know why this is locking. Is that plugged in over there?
No.
Can you plug that in for me? Thanks, sweetheart. So, guys, what I really want to express here is I think for just that one that we're talking about, I think I was looking more for signs of addiction for a relapse to happen, but everyday life comes in. So I'm going to let people know that it's very important. I think too many times we fall into work when it comes to recovery, and we forget about play. And I know that was one of the big things that Laura Boberg tried to really teach, is that even when you guys were in rehab, we need to work, but she always put in that day of play, because it's called recovery burnout, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can get burned
out.
out.
I think just burn out from anything.
Yes.
Just burn out. Yeah.
Yes. And so the thing is I do feel that, I will stake my part that I feel that, yes, I became more of a mother to Maria Reese, and it's okay to be a mother, but I do think I forgot about Anna, and I definitely think I forgot about Anna and Mitchell, about creating that connection and that bond. I mean, we don't do dates really at all or anything like that. We became consumed as a small unit family. And again, guys, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I do think we need to learn balance. And that's what I'm trying to learn right now, is balance. And so there needs to be time just for Mitchell and I to reconnect and to actually have conversation that, like we expressed, like we are life coaches and that's part of our journey. But I do think Mitchell and I's dialogue revolved more around life coaching to help other people, rather than us going, Mitchell, I found out I need to work on this today, or I've been dealing with shame or guilt, and us having a connection that way. I think we've been evolving our connection more around work.
Well, I think that's true. I think that's real true, because I remember in like our second year of recovery, we're both coaching, and I remember being more aware of that than you just saying that now, being like, oh wow, yeah. Because I remember year 2, we're both coaching for the same company, and I remember you'd come and talk to me and decompress afterwards, or I'd talk to you or whatever. But I remember a lot of times being like, Anna, I just don't want to hear about it. Yeah. Remember? Yeah. Because it was burn. Because I was doing a lot more then. Yeah.
With Maria Reese and all.
Well, I was doing a lot more, even the coaching at that place for me. Yeah. For me, and I was fresh into it, so I wasn't had my bearing. So I was just I can't parent, take care of Mitchell, take care of, I spend time with us, and then hear about this. Yeah. I remember saying that a couple times to you, and you're like, I just wanted to tell you, because I know you were excited, but I remember being like, I don't want to hear about it. You know what I mean? Yep. I remember doing that because it was just it was like you're saying, burn out. No, you know what I mean? And I think you get comfortable in that spot, and now it's just becomes that. Yeah. It becomes all the stuff that's not really important to you, but it's the stuff that consumes you. Yeah. All the stuff we do and talk about and put our energy into is important, but it's not the most important. Yeah. No, and I want to say right now, I'm sorry for not hearing you back then. Because I do think in those moments I became very defensive. I became, why don't you want to communicate this? I thought that I was doing something wrong. And the truth is I might not have been doing something healthy, but my mind still back then was doing something wrong. That means that. Well, you were excited. Bad. You were excited, and I was over it. Yeah. You know what I mean? We were just two different places. And I think that happens a lot in life too. Yeah. I think it happens a lot in life too, and then you get comfortable in that, you get comfortable in how many hours you're on social media, or how many hours you, lay in bed before you go to sleep, how many hours you spend watching shows or or whatever, you get consumed in that, and then that becomes normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where I'm kind of stuck in now, is like, there's a lot of normal stuff that I do now today that I don't really want to be doing. You know what I mean?
What?
Well, just like, I mean, and this is in general, not like specifically right now, but like over the last 6 months, right? I've gotten more comfortable watching streaming shows. You know, I was reading, which was good. I liked the reading part, but like just the isolation and reading, or like I need to set time limits, like, right? Like not waking up earlier than I need to because I can get more done before Maria Reese is up. You know, not paying attention to what I'm putting into my body. You know what I mean? And then this stuff becomes normal, and then it's like I don't want to change because this feels comfortable and good, and then it's like now it's hard to change again.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
When you're doing all this good stuff, it's so easy to maintain. And I think that's what a mental relapse is too. I think when you're mentally fit, right, not in a mental relapse, I think that you're maintaining your recovery. You're doing the maintenance. I think when you're in a mental relapse, you're not maintaining it anymore. You're just in recovery, right? The maintenance is the stuff that you need to do every day. The maintenance is the stuff you need to look at and say, am I still questioning if I want to do this for the next month, 6 months, year, right? Am I still asking myself, you know, what do I want to do for fun in the next 6 months? Am I still reflecting on how I'm talking to people, right? Am I still looking at, you know, am I getting stuff out of my therapist? How is my medication working? Like all those kind of things, I think that's maintenance.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think when you stop doing that is the mental relapse, right? And I think that's the comfort. That's the complacency, they say. Like complacency kills your recovery.
Yeah.
Anything else you put in front of your recovery or your maintenance, you're going to lose, right? And that's, I think, how it happens.
So what if I'm going to ask you right now, Mitchell, what do you think for you was your own mental relapse? I know you just touched a little bit on it, but when do you think, and do you think it was a quick or a slow progression?
I kind of am torn between like a mental relapse on this one and not. Like I think there was a lot of stuff I wasn't doing. I think I got complacent and I really wasn't doing that maintenance. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the times because I think I had some really severe mental relapses in the past. You know what I mean? And I know they're all probably classified the same. They're all probably under that heading as mental relapse, but like it feels different to me this time.
Okay, yeah.
It feels different to me this time. It feels like I just was coasting in recovery.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't doing the maintenance. I wasn't asking those questions. I got comfortable in not being mindful about myself. You know what I mean? Instead of being comfortable being mindful. Right? I feel like it was more of a comfort, complacent, and then here it is, like out of the dark back alley, the addict's like boom right out front, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and those other relapses I had, you know, the months long ones, and like even before I went into treatment, like when I'd say, hey, I got a second DUI, I'm gonna quit drinking, and like you try for like 3 or 4 months, and then you like go back out because that's a relapse too. It's like, I think those ones were like, hey, I'm doing something, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, this is tough. Like, do I really want to live this way? Do I want to give up drinking, drugging? Like, I'll just do this one. And like, I have those voices coming in. You know what I mean? And I think because I can trace that back to that. Like when I still look back at this and I'm like, you know, I see the stuff that I wasn't maintaining, but I'm still like, you know, going to that concert, I'm like, I was excited about going to this concert. Like,
and it wasn't about, I'm going to go drink, I'm going to have a free cat.
Right,
okay,
you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not going to, because it's just, and that's the thing, it's like, and that's the thing where it's like, you got to be on guard. You got to, because the addiction's in the back working out, pumping iron, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's getting stronger. It's there. It's always there. Like, don't test it. Like, you're an addict still. You're an alcoholic still. And once you do, you can't stop. Like, that's the stuff that's there. Which I'm still on the fence if that's scary or not as scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think about that often. If it's like, if I feel like more scared going forward now, or which I don't.
Yeah.
But I ask myself that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's a good gauge for like you gotta do the maintenance all the time.
Yeah.
You gotta do the check-ins, and like, you know, talking about this like with you, we can check in with each other every like 3 months. Hey, you think your trajectory for the next 3 months is positive, or like what do you want to do? Or you change your opinion on something? Like, let's talk about that so then we can get on the same page.
Is that all that for the meeting?
That's for the meeting.
Well, because Mitchell, so what I hear you saying is when you're talking about the mental relapse, when you're having that little bit of difficulty of calling it a mental relapse, I heard you say it is a mental relapse, but what's hard for me is in the past, it's not like a mental relapse that I had back then, because it felt like the addict already there going, I'm going to drink, I'm going to do these things. And this time, Anna, I was just going to a concert to have fun. I wasn't thinking, I'm going to take this night to drink, and it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. You know, and maybe that's why it wasn't a long relapse. Maybe that's why I was still able to be honest and truthful.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't this mental thing for a long time.
Yeah.
Of me starting to like hide stuff and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe that's something that dictated the length of the relapse. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I definitely know there was a lot of life things that I let go.
Yeah.
That fueled the use.
Yes.
That fueled that chance for a use.
Yeah.
Right? Now, obviously, if something mentally is going on there to stop doing those things, and I think that's what I'm dissecting now. You know what I mean? I think that's what I'm looking at now. Is like, yeah, complacency, but what's complacency? Like, why is there complacency? Like, you know, and like you said it earlier, I think it's, we focus on the job, we focus on Maria Reese, we focus on, you know, our self-care a little bit. Like, maybe that's it, you know? Like, I used to focus on my self-care, but like some of the things that I started doing, was it self-care, or was it just like
I feel you though.
Avoiding? Was it just like nothing?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that is not good. You know what I mean? Just the vegging out, like, can turn pretty quick to like, I'm not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Being truthful right now, do you think that over the course of these 3 years, even though we've come on We Are Recovery and we have our lives, do you think that we've slowly disconnected?
From each other?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Go ahead, Mitchell. I do think so too.
Well, I don't know.
Your first instinct was say, "Oh yeah."
No, I wasn't gonna say, "Oh yeah."
Okay.
I wasn't gonna say, "Oh yeah." I was gonna say like, "Oh, like I see some parts of it," like, but I think we connected a lot on a different level. Like, I feel so.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I don't think I feel it as much as you. No. I mean, because I think for a long time, even in addiction, I wanted that connection. I wanted that. And it feels like the same. Mm-hmm. Like, I think in early recovery, yeah, we were starting to, like, but, like, it's still a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever gotten to the part of, like, starting that connection again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So and that might be hard to hear. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, do you think that in early recovery, like, we started to connect again a lot and then, like, stopped over the last 3 years?
Yes.
Because I think when we had Maria Reese, me and you had very different feelings going on, because you had postpartum depression. So, you know, there was that. And mine was like, you know what I mean? So I think at that moment, 3 years ago, I think we were at a very different place.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I was at a connecting with Maria Reese and connecting with you as a mom, and like, and even like when you were pregnant, like, man, this is awesome. Like, you're an awesome mom already. You look beautiful. Like, all this stuff. Like, and I think that was that continued connection thing. So I think, you know, actually, to me, if I look at it, like, I think from 3 years ago to now, like, I think the connection's been getting better and better slowly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I think that might have been a different turning point for you.
Because I
don't know.
Well, no, because when you were talking, I do feel like in early recovery before. Sorry, guys. I know I just noticed, like, I'm really looking at Mitchell and here.
No, I think it's good.
Okay. All right. Just because this is one of those moments, like if the camera wasn't on, we'd be sitting here having a conversation like this. This is how we'd be talking. So I'm sorry that my body language is geared towards here. But Mitchell, I do feel that before we had Maria Reese, I feel like the connection was absolutely taking off. Like I do. I think because we really had that time for you and I to just sit down, have conversation, have deep thought. And I would actually even say, like, I've expressed it in early recovery. I felt like I was falling in love with you all over again because I had the addict was there for so long that I don't even.
I think that's a good point too, though.
Do you remember me telling you that I was scared to have Maurice as much as we've always wanted a kid, and I wanted Maria Reese, but I got scared at one point. Remember, I came back from Dr. Pope and I was bawling because I literally was having this existential crisis of I felt well, it wasn't even that. I felt like you and I never had time because I always had a relationship with the addict, and I felt like all of a sudden I got you back. And we had a year of us connecting, and then all of a sudden it's like, bam, our life's gonna change again. And I felt like I was still a kid.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of it too. See, I think you just pinpointed one part of your side of it.
Yes.
Was you fell out of love.
I did. Yes, from addiction. You know what I mean? Yes, I did.
You fell out of love. Yes. Like in my eyes, through the addiction, like I feel like like Mitchell's always loved you.
Yeah.
But the addict was just in front.
Yeah.
Right? So I think like it was great to be clear and like this stuff, but it felt like Mitchell deep back in there, taking the back seat, like what the addict was driving, like still felt that love and all that stuff for you. So doesn't seem like it was a restart.
Yeah.
Obviously it was because it was we were getting connected and sober and all that stuff. But I still have all those moments, even in the addiction where it was like maybe not the addict present like immediately. Obviously it was all the addiction still, but I think that's a lot of the stuff that was going on too, you know what I mean? And then being hating to lose that and stuff. I mean, obviously that's the same thing.
So can I ask you, just so I'm not an assumption, when I felt like you were gonna like have this, like I do feel like we've disconnected, is your thought process more of, Anna, I feel like we've continued to connect, but I feel like you've been disconnecting? Do you feel like I'm not there quite yet with connection? Do you feel like you've been connecting with me and Maria Reese, but do you feel like I've been slowly disconnecting?
I don't feel like I've been connecting and you haven't.
Okay.
I think I feel that it's been a consistent.
I just haven't had the connection yet.
I think it's just been consistent. You know what I mean? I don't think there's ever been a... the biggest connection I feel we've had in our whole relationship was like the first year.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. And I think since like year 2 or whatever, it's just been similar, right? Now I think that because you're right, we did get moments, and then you have the next life moment, right? Mm-hmm. Like Maria Reese, and now it's like a different thing and a different thing. And I think that's why a lot of the times I'm like, we need our own place and like to do our own things, because I want to get to that connection place. You know what I mean? So
to clarify again, so there's no assumptions, you think that we connected in that first year, but ever since then, you feel like I have not got back there yet.
Me? You mean I?
Yeah, you feel like I have not got back there with you yet.
Yes, I feel like we haven't got back to... I feel like we haven't...
I feel the same, Mitchell.
I feel like we haven't. I feel like... it's just a long... I think we're just changing so much that it's like... you can't get back there. You can't get back there, for one. It's going to be different. And what does different now look like? Like, what does connection now look like? And I think it's going to look like the time for ourselves and the date nights and the things like that, and to get that. But like, we've still been navigating so much trauma from like, not only from the relationship and through the addiction, but like my past traumas, I'm finding out a lot about. I've been like kind of living in resentments this last like week or two, man. And I don't know if it was like set on by COVID and just been sick, but like just really in my head thinking about like, why am I so resentful to like my past and like how I learned how to communicate and like all these things, and like I'm starting to tie it into like I think I shut other people down because I'm comparing them to like the other people in my life that treat me that way or like did these things, and like so there's all this underlying trauma, man. That's just lifelong stuff that like. So if you're always dealing with the trauma, you're always growing, you're always thinking about stuff, like, where is that time? Where is that time for connection with people, man? Like, and like, me and you have talked about this before, like how we don't feel like we connect with people. Like, we know we connect with people.
Yeah.
Because people love us.
Yeah.
And we connect. But we both say, like, well, am I just like an acquaintance, or are we like good friends, or what, right? And other people, and the same person we're talking about would be like, yeah, we're good friends. What do you mean? And it's like, I just don't know where that is, you know? And maybe that's just something that when we figure that out, like, we'll know. I mean, but I think we're getting there and we're going, but I don't know. I can't really put a fine point on that, you know? So but I don't think that you're not less disconnected. I don't think that you're like getting not connected. I think we're growing and connecting as well and efficiently as we can.
Yeah. Well, you actually just put a new perspective in my mind, and this is something, guys, that I actually didn't think about. We always talk about our own individual journeys, right? That the family has theirs, the addict has theirs, whatever it's going to look like. But I think Mitchell's right. I think, like, I'm going to speak to everything that Mitchell just expressed. I do.
Yeah, sorry, that was a lot.
Yeah, I know. I do feel that I am still trying to build connection with Mitchell. Like, I agree to him with that, and it really does suck to hear, though, from the person that you care about, that they're feeling that way. However, I'm not going to sit here and negate it because I feel it as well. And I think Mitchell just made me aware of something, is that when Mitchell and I met each other in the beginning, even before the addiction was present, none of us were looking at our own stuff. It still existed. It existed before the addiction. I still had low self-worth. I still looked for meaning and purpose. I still wanted to help people, and I didn't know this at the time, in an unhealthy way. I was telling someone
you're happy in your mask. You're happy in your life. And, like, I'm happy in my life now, too, but, like, not wearing a mask is, like, work.
Exactly. And I think that's what you're... I really agree with you, Mitchell.
So it's hard to connect when you're working all the time on yourself, too.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I've never realized this. You and I have been working on us reconnecting. But I think you put a good point in, and now that we're in recovery, it's not just us working on ourselves. Like, you and I are discovering things about ourselves that have nothing to do with one another.
No.
Like, nothing.
No.
It has to do with our past and traumas.
But we all have to do, but we both deal with it. We both deal with it from each other, because, like, it's the sadness sometimes, or it's the anger from me sometimes, and it's just we both have to navigate that with each other.
So what happens if the disconnection is really not something between us? My disconnection is something that I'm working on with myself. It's overwhelming.
For sure.
And then I
think that's it.
And then I just told everyone earlier that I really do think the potential of how this mental relapse occurred. I think it happened a long time ago, to be completely honest with you. I think Mitchell and I stopped connecting with our support systems, whether it was with our therapists or, again, just our support and expressing feedback. So I just told you, and you just brought me aware to this, you know I'm getting passionate because I'm excited about this, is that what you just said to me is that it's not even about us. It's what I'm dealing with inside. And what did I do? I bottled it up. I didn't reach out to anybody. I didn't express it to anybody. And if I did, I talked with you. But again, then we create more of this codependent relationship. Again, I rely on you to help me work through these things when I need to have a resource. So then it does become overwhelming. And you know me, all about energy. I'm keeping it all in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not turning it. I'm not releasing it. And so the thing is why do I think I feel better now? It's because I've started to navigate and reach out to my support again. But you just made me aware. I don't think it's a disconnect between you and I, Mitchell. I think it's because I'm now really finally working on myself, and I never had that knowledge to do that back then. So my only view is, well, it's got to be the problem between you and us, right?
Yeah.
Because that's my thought process. But in actuality...
It's not us, it's everybody else.
I I have to
No,
work.
it's everything else.
Yes.
It's not. It's just everything.
I got to work myself. So guys, like for me, I really do think this has been happening for a while for Mitchell and I, because I do think once we had Maria Reese, I think Mitchell's entirely right. We kind of forgot about Anna and Mitchell separate, and also together we just became parents. And of course, like having some grace on ourselves, we're navigating this for the first time. And I do think what happened is we started disconnecting in a sense that way of not taking the time to have those dates. And then I think our conversations then ended up either about Maria Reese or about our work, and not having like, when I feel like I started connecting with Mitchell and I'm going to express to you what I felt that connection was. Mitchell would be going to outpatient, be with his therapist or having groups. I'd be learning to be a coach or at the groups myself. And we're learning about all these different topics. And then Mitchell and I are like, did you know this about yourself? And you're like, no, I'm working on this. So it was really about us, but individually working, and we were sharing, and it was just such intimate moments to me. And I feel now it's not talking about ourselves, it's talking about work. So we're not as much having it. It's not to say that Mitchell and I are not doing that at all. We definitely are, but I think we've slid back on that, and it's become more about being parents and not really having that connection. Like, let's be honest, it's the intimacy too.
It's the intimacy, sure, but I think we're missing a huge thing that happened.
What?
In
I feel like I'm
2019, whenever you were pregnant with Maria Reese and we had her, COVID hit.
Oh yeah, I know.
So like obviously that changes and the whole world changes. Like we used to go to movies and
That's
like all this
true.
stuff, and like it kind of drops off, and I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that way. But like we were really hitting a stride a year or two in.
Yeah.
And then 2019,
You're right.
COVID hits. You can't go out. Meetings are closed.
You're right.
Everything's online. Can't go to the doctors. And then you have Maria Reese, and you're going to keep her away from everybody because, you know what I mean? We got to keep her away from everybody. We don't take her around anybody for a year or two. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's big.
Yeah.
It was big.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to get other people sick. You start worrying about other people because you want to worry about other people because you care about other people.
Yeah.
But like now you have to worry about other people because if I get sick and I get somebody else sick and they die, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? So like I gotta start hyper vigilant, like really worrying about things, and I think that was a big.
You're right.
A big thing that fueled this whole thing as well. I mean, it fanned the fire that was already happening for sure.
Yeah, you're right, because I didn't think.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, why did we stop going out? And I was thinking about when you were saying about dates, and I was like, we used to go eat some dinner and go to a movie, and like. We'd go to the late showing and get home at midnight or after, and it was like great, and we could talk the whole way home, and then we'd stay up till like 2 talking about the movie and stuff like that, and it's like,
you're right.
And I'm like thinking, what stops that? And I'm like, no one does it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we got comfortable not doing it. I think a lot of people got comfortable.
You're right.
Because we had to conform to this new way of living. And it's hard to get back out of that.
And I think it took a lot of connection away.
Yeah.
In
the moment, I didn't care. In the moment of like, in the height of COVID, I was like, I love it. I'm an introvert. I love it. But like, here's the long-term effect of it.
Yes.
Is we got complacent.
Yes.
In not connecting.
Yes. So the reason why I really wanted to express this, guys, because really, truthfully, I know we're always focused on let's look for the signs of relapse when it has to pertain to addiction. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't think this had anything to do with addiction coming in and those behaviors. It had to do with Mitchell and I slowly disconnecting with one another because of just life in general. It was becoming a parent and forgetting to make time for Mitchell and I to sit down and talk to one another. Us slowly. Do you think that you stopped reaching out to your support system also?
When did I ever reach out to the support system, Anna?
I know.
Honestly. I mean, the best year I had with reaching out to my support system was because Skylar was reaching out to me every day.
I agree to that.
That's it. And the next best time I had reached out to my support system, you know when it was? When I was in treatment for like a whole year.
Yeah.
Because my support system was there. Because I don't like to just call and shoot the shit with people.
But you're not. You're going and talking about what's going on with you. So why do you think that's hard?
Because I don't like talking about myself. I don't like talking about my life, like, because I don't like hearing about people's lives either.
Mitchell.
I'm just a stick in the mud sometimes, man. Like, and that's part of the stuff I'm figuring out now.
Okay.
Is that's why I'm living in these resentments. Like my dad will come down and say something, and like I just don't even want to hear it. And it's like a lot of people, it's like that with me sometimes, and it's like, where is this coming from? And why? Why am I that way? You know what I mean?
Do you think you lack empathy?
No, I think I'm a very empathetic person. I think it's like just not caring. Not caring sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just...
I'm going, isn't that a lack of empathy?
No, because I empathize with people. But I think not caring is different. Because it's in the moment. Right? In the moment, like, I don't want to be bothered sometimes. Right? When I'm on my track of something, right? But if, like, people come into my life, like, I love it. I love to empathize. I love to help people. I love to listen to the stories, like coaching and all these things. Like, I love doing this stuff. But, like, when I'm doing something, like my day-to-day stuff, and that's why for me to reach out, I need to make a time. And I've thought this in my head so many times of, like, you know, I could reach out to a different person every day and probably not hit the same person in a couple months. You know what I mean?
You have a lot of support.
You know what I mean? But, like, I could just, and I'd be talking to them once a month or once every 2 months. And I could just say, hey, at this time, I'm going to reach out to one of those people. And I'd go down that list. I could do that. But if I don't do that and actually do it, because I've thought about this for like the last 30 years, if I don't set that time up, like, I'm never organically going to be like, oh, I'm going to call and chat with this person.
Do you think it's that you like a sense of control, that when it's not done either on
I just suck.
You don't suck. So here's the thing, though, because that is something that I also feel, Mitchell. I do feel, and this was something that I was telling someone that I should have said more things and I didn't, and this is my codependency because I'm scared of confrontation, is that I did feel also when I was expressing that I feel like I was coming to you more, I do feel like you were coming to me more, and I wasn't saying like what I used to and saying, Mitchell, I feel like you should reach out to your support and talk to your support about this.
I know, but if I say that to you, you do it. If you say that to me, I'm like, I'm not going to reach out now.
I know, but how can we change that? Because we know that's unhealthy.
Yeah, I mean, I need in-person. I need to have people that I work with that I have a relationship with, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's where I used to get it from, the contact, right?
The accountability,
and my friends, like from home, like I and it's just I'm not by them, you know what I mean? And it's just not. I'm not a phone call person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm not a phone call person. Like I'm for my whole life. Yeah. Just not that kind of person.
Yeah.
Like in treatment, in person. You know, IOP, in meetings. Like all this stuff is like in person. Like some people love talking on the phone. I hate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not a talk on the phone person. You know what I mean? So
but you will talk to family members anytime they ask for your phone number and you talk to them.
Yeah, I'll talk to them because they're reaching out to me. And I'll be there. And I'll be there for you.
Gotcha.
I'll be there for you no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'll listen to you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I just don't feel like it all stems back to the same thing we always say. As a kid, low self-worth, low self-esteem, not good enough. If I'm reaching out, like, and then people are going to ask about this, and like, I really don't, and if I'm not, like, there's nothing that's really been that concerning to me, where I'd be like, oh, I'm concerned, I'm going to talk about it. Here's the thing I need to get past. I need to get past of, like, saying, oh, it's nice to just share your life with people. Yeah. Right? But, like, that does not come up in me. Yeah. Like just to call and share your life with people does not come up with me. Like never in my day am I like, I'm just going to call and shoot the breeze with someone. Like, it just doesn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like even in passing with people in the, like people that you see somewhere, like I'm not one that's just going to be like, hey, what's up? I don't just go up and talk to people about like pleasantry, nice stuff.
I feel like you do it, and you weren't drinking when I was there at concerts. When people are other free spirits, like I feel like you do communicate with them, and you're the first one to say hi.
Yeah, but it's not if I'm alone. Not if I'm alone. Okay.
I'm not trying to contradict you.
I'm just saying, not if I'm alone. If I'm alone, like those concerts I've been to alone, like I'll just go there and I'm just like a wallflower, man. And I'm enjoying myself and I'm liking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not that talkative, like.
More introverted.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna feel like if I go to somewhere and like if someone expects me to like be that kind of stuff, I'm like, bring up conversations. I'm gonna be feeling very uncomfortable. I'll be like, so I don't know how to have small talk. I have no idea how to have small talk. I can talk about life stuff and I can talk about deep stuff, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people do that. You know what I mean?
So it gets uncomfortable because then I get you.
Yeah,
Okay. So here's the thing. Melanie said, sounds like he's an introvert. And Mitchell is an introvert, and I'm definitely an extrovert. I know that, I think Janet, I'm trying to get back down. Janet said, do you think that, Hakan said, I can relate to this. Janet was saying, do you think doing FaceTime would be a baby step to just, so it's kind of like a physical interaction, or no?
I still wouldn't initiate it.
There's your thing, Janet.
I still wouldn't initiate it, Janet. I don't have that desire to reach out. Like, I have the desire to want connection, but like, I don't have the desire to reach out. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. And you know what? It makes my connection suffer for sure a lot.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think
it for sure does. I mean,
do you think that's
if you don't reach out and invest in people, like, why are they going to reach out and invest in you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hakan just wrote, you are right now, mate. So, you're reaching out and connecting.
I know, but it's not, you know what I mean?
For you, it feels different when it's more one-on-one.
I don't know, man.
Amanda, I'm trying to find, because you wrote something, and I can't.
It's been me since I was a wee lad.
All right, let's see. Amanda, so I have an observation, but so worried about it coming across as judgmental.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Which is not my heart at all. Believe me, I know you guys have had one gut punch after the other. So worried. It would be an observation would just be kicking you while you were down. Let me know if okay. You're absolutely okay to share. Challenge us.
Yeah, share it.
Share it, Amanda. Because here, we're already telling you right now that Mitchell and I are recognizing that even though we came on We Are Recovery and we're expressing ourselves, these last 3 years, Mitchell and I have lost a lot of connection with one another. And I do think, taking my own personal, and Mitchell is right, when I had Maria Reese, I did have postpartum. I had postpartum before I even delivered Maria Reese. I didn't know that was even a thing. I feel if you actually go back into our lives, there is one where we've been missing basically for about 6 months, and I come on bawling.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why is I know everyone probably thought, oh my God, Mitchell relapsed, but no, it was because I was so
first 6 months
depressed in that first 6 months because I did not understand why when other mothers were telling me that they were so excited to be pregnant and that they, right when they helped their child, they had a love right then and there. I didn't feel that with Maria Reese. So I really got down on myself. I really started thinking something was very wrong with me. I felt inadequate. I felt weak. I had shame. I had guilt. So I started, that was definitely a spiral, guys. And I definitely in postpartum, if anyone's had it, it's very hard to connect with anything. I just told you I had a tough time connecting with my daughter. I grew to love Maria Reese, and that hurt me because I just would see all these moms be just right off the get-go, love their child. And I remember sitting there and bawling because I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I connect with my daughter? And in my, again, to have self-compassion, I separated my pelvis also, giving birth. Okay. And so it's not that moment that you have when you're like, oh, I'm going to deliver and I'm going to have my child. Like Mitchell was helping me bathe, change me. I couldn't even lift my foot even an inch off the ground. I was sleeping in a recliner chair for about the first 3 months with a physical therapist coming every day. So it wasn't like this magical story. Like I definitely think there was this, what is it? He looked like he thinking about relapsing. No, Mitchell is not thinking. Well, actually you said it.
What? Are they talking
I don't
about
know if
somebody
that's
else?
a real I have no idea. But no matter what, my thing was, guys, is like, even right there, that all happened. And then, yes, what happened later on, it was honestly, Jennifer, about PTSD, because we did lose one. And I think that was a reason why I wasn't connecting because of that. And then also later on, you know, 2020 happening, like Mitchell said, and then losing animals, limes, having my mom in the hospital. We've just always been on automated pilot, or I will speak for myself, and I think there was slow disconnecting. Okay, Amanda. Okay, so Monday night Zooms while you worked for I Am. The accountability, closeness, it was amazing. It was interactive, absolutely. They were guests if you guys were on that Monday. It was nice to invite people to it as well because it wasn't open like Facebook. People could comment, etc. That said, I love the lives, loves the new family group, but there was a major shift after stopping the Monday night closed Zooms. Yeah, I absolutely agree to that too. I think the dynamic changed. For sure. Because exactly like you said, there was more privacy to them. I think for me, in all honesty, the reason why I shifted from that was because there were too many, and now when I say this, please don't, if you were one of the people, this is not what I mean. There was already so much going on with, again, I'm telling you, learning to become a parent was very difficult. I was coaching and doing all these things that I had a lot of people reaching out for the recordings of the Zoom. I couldn't send that out to everybody. It made everything way more time consuming for me. And I knew at that point in time, I really needed to take care of myself, because if you're going to ask me when I definitely felt the most off, it was around that point in time where I was getting very depressed. Because I was...
You were doing a lot.
Yes.
You were doing a lot because you were setting up that and doing all the... sending out all the flyers,
the
and
emails,
all the stuff, and the emails and all the stuff. Because I asked, I said, "Why are we stopping that?" And you're like, "It's just a lot."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, cool. Like, let's just do what's easier." You know what I mean?
Yes, and I felt bad because there was a lot of people that were reaching out and were very upset about changing the meeting, and I don't disagree with them. I think the meeting was an amazing thing. I just know for me, sending out the emails and sending out the recordings and doing all that, it was just very difficult on me, to be completely honest. And guys, that's why, again, being completely honest, that's why I've created this private support group, is because I need to challenge myself and my own codependency. I mean, I admit it, I want to be there for everyone. I just always have that vision of me crying in my bed alone, whether Mitchell was beside me or not, and wanting that interaction with another human, just to process and to talk with. And I always get that vision when people reach out to me, and I don't want to let that person down. I want that person to know that they are loved and that they are cared about. And even if you don't physically know me, that I love you and I wish the best for you. And so for me, it's really hard because I admit it. I want to save the goddamn world. Whether you're an addict or a codependent, I don't want people to feel alone. I want people to know they're loved. I want people to know they're worth it. And for a long time, I was answering every single message back on We Are Recovery. Every moment would come in. And I do remember Mitchell saying this to me and going, "Anna, I know you want to help everybody, but you're on We Are Recovery a lot. And me and Maria Reese need you." And again, I didn't realize at that point in time that, again, I want to save the world, but I need to remember that I got to be here for my family. And I got to be here for myself. And
it
so
becomes consuming, man. It just becomes consuming.
And so, Amanda, I thank you for saying that, because I do think you're also definitely, right. I do. I think you're right. I think that changed something. I think there was definitely accountability in that. I also do think in that moment, because I do think you're right, it was more of a private setting, so we could connect in a
I think that's what we're trying to want to do. We're trying to want to do again for the
coaching,
for the workshops.
Sense. Yes, workshops.
For the workshops, we want to do intimate stuff like that and everything. I think, like, for as far as reach goes, though, and the easiness of the accessible videos, like, this just became so much easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I think we want to get into and honestly, like, I love doing this too, but I feel a lot of the times it was the same over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So I think this changed it. I think this changed it up for us, and it was something we needed for sure.
Yes, and I think too, guys.
It's the ebbs and flows. It's the difference. It's the different things, you know.
Yep, and this is a me problem. Absolutely a me problem. I would do all these things, and like I said, the hardest thing for me is with being a coach is honestly asking for a fee. I wish I could do this for free. I really do. Again, that's what I envision. Anybody that reaches out, like, I see us feeling alone in that moment, and I don't want anybody to. And I think what I realized too is I was putting all this time into it that wouldn't leave me time to have a job to support my family. And so that was hard for me, is realizing that if I'm putting all this time in and I'm not, to help people, but I'm not having any extra time, then that's, I think, what was really crushing me. But that's my own problem. That's my own codependency, right there. But yeah, Amanda, absolutely. Like when you said, that's what I was talking about.
I think that's just something we need to look at. We need to look at, and I've suggested this many times, is like getting people that we really trust and support, which there's dozens that we've talked to for 5 years on here that would be like, oh, we'll set it up and you guys just show up and run it. You know what I mean? I think that's something we could do, right? Where it's like, hey, we don't have to send out this stuff. We don't have to, like, other people giving back, right? For this common good, this common thing, right? So, that's something to do too. Like, we have to dictate things to other people that want to help, because everybody on here has helped us so much. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we do have a young family.
Yes.
We do have a young family, and like, also when Maria restarts school, there's going to be a lot more freed up of stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But early recovery and doing a lot of this, and, this grew really fast organically for us.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It definitely did.
It seems like we just turn on and show up and it's it, but it's a lot more.
Yeah, and I do want to go a bit into that, Jennifer. Again, when you're saying so hard to ask for help too, I think that's the key. I think the reason why I've been disconnecting is because I've disconnected from myself. I'm letting the codependent come in more in by thinking I'm a burden. It's definitely the burden mentality, and I think sometimes I get into this thinking pattern of,
why can't I do it?
Well, why can't I do it? And this is going to come off wrong. I know it is, but this is not what I mean. You guys all on here are my support system, right? You absolutely are. I think what I fell into, though, is if what I was struggling with had nothing to do with addiction, I felt like I had no right to come on here and talk to you guys. And it is nothing that you guys did. Nothing.
And that's totally...
I know.
Not true, too.
I know, but this is
feeling. I know.
Exactly.
I'm just telling them, like, that it's absurd to think that, but that's what you think.
Yes, and in actuality, the truth of the matter is we're sitting on here and talking about that, honestly, guys, where I think potential for a relapse came in had nothing to do with addiction. No. It had to do with everyday life.
Addiction's use is the solution.
Yes.
Solution to a problem. So talking about the problems is what's necessary.
Yes, and so if you guys think that, use my mistakes, our mistakes, if you guys think and sit there and go, when's the last time I reached out to my support? That is already a red flag for us. And we should start thinking, why are we no longer reaching out to our support systems? Because I can promise you, your codependency or addiction is going to come back more into full force when we're not reaching out to a support system, okay? And I definitely think that was it, was not reaching out to my support system. I think another thing is Mitchell and I went too much into the recovery work, and we didn't take time for ourselves to understand who we are individually, but also reconnect in another way. It just became more about work rather than just everyday things. I like that Mitchell said that we should do a check-in every couple months. I think that's a really good idea.
Well, I think by talk about stuff with your significant other, your partners, or your friends, or your support, and set that up. You know what I mean? Hey, this is something I might need.
Yeah. And Amanda, when you're talking about the Zoom, Mitchell's even said this to me. I think you're on the right path, that it might not have been the Zoom that stopped it, but it definitely was me stopping the morning lives. Mitchell has said that to me numerous times and said, Anna, I think...
You stopped it because you were burnt out.
I know. My thing is things started happening and occurring also.
Yeah, but you were burnt out.
Yes.
You were burnt out, baby.
Yes. And that's the thing too, again, is, see, as much as, here's the thing for the family members, as much as we think it's the addicts in our lives, we have things we definitely need to work on too. We have problems, and issues, if you want to call them, or unhealthy things. And I admit it, for a long time, I definitely thought Mitchell here was the one that had all the things. And the truth of the matter is, no, like just stuff.
So what things?
No. And so I want you guys to know that mental relapses can occur on either side. And I do think we should talk more about mental relapses in the future and really what they look like. Because I know we didn't really get too much into it today. Stupid question. When you burn out, do you notice before or after? Good question. I think I do notice when it happens, but I don't take the warning signs.
You definitely I don't think you ever notice you're burning out. I think
signs.
I think once you feel fatigue, which it's probably already too late, you're already burning out, is when we see the signs.
Yeah. I think that's...
I mean? Like, I think you feel really great before a burnout because you're like, I'm doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And then it slowly... Because for me...
I feel fantastic. And then it's like...
I'm tired. I'm definitely tired. I feel more stressed. I'm not doing... Like Mitchell was saying before, just coasting instead of... How did you say it, Mitchell? I don't know the word you used. You said instead of coasting, you like do the things that you're supposed to. I don't know what word you used. Maintain. That's I think I stopped maintaining and I'm just coasting. And that's how I feel. But I will tell you the biggest thing, how I know that I'm burning out, I have something called compassion fatigue. You can look that up more if you want, but But what it is before you feel like you're having a lot of compassion, you know that's you, but then all of a sudden you feel like there's a lack of compassion in your answers and things like that. So for me, that's how I know I'm burning out. My compassion starts lacking. And it's definitely my compassion for others. Like, I admit it, I lack self-compassion for myself. That's part of my codependency and things I'm working on. But if I lack compassion for another human, that is a massive sign for me that something's not right and I need to take time for myself.
Don't jump in my brain right now. Yeah. Don't jump in my life right now because I'm thinking this is just another step.
Yes. And that's the thing, guys. So let's next week when we meet, let's talk more about mental relapse, and let's really talk about just in general, not just in Mitchell and I, what we've noticed. Let's talk more in general of what that looks like. But as we said today, and Mitchell and I will probably have more discussions later, is that I'm glad that we talked about that. I think that can be another live in itself of why we feel like we haven't connected back after with Maria Reese. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and thanks for the questions and the challenging. Thank you, Amanda. Really appreciate it, guys. You're absolutely amazing, and we'll see you again soon. Mitchell will see you tomorrow night, and morning lives will start up again soon.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye, guys.